And we are back. My name is Roberto, and in this video I'm sharing my F1 Canada setup. This setup is optimized for a race distance, so you can use it for races in my team, career mode and online. And the timing is perfect, because this weekend the F1 circus is coming to Canada. And if you want to experience racing at Canada like Max Verstappen, Lewis Hamilton and the rest, you can use this F1 Canada setup. Before we dive into my Hotlap and setup, I want to mention that I share one or more setups every day, so if you don't want to miss them, subscribe to my channel to stay updated with my latest F1 setups. Now let's talk about racing at Canada. It is always one of my favorite races of the year. I enjoy watching it and I love racing on it myself in the Formula 1 games. There's always something special happening at this circuit. Remember the 1999 race when 3 world champions crashed in the Wall of Champions? It was a great race. Canada is also where Lewis Hamilton scored his first victory, although he had a low point later in his career when he collided with Kimi Räikkönen in the pit lane. And who can forget Button's incredible win with 6 pit stops? These are just a few situations that come to mind right now, and I'm really excited to see who is going to win this Canadian Grand Prix this season. It's hard not to think that Max Verstappen will win it again. He has been incredibly fast and dominant in his Red Bull this season, and the remarkable thing is he rarely makes mistakes. He's driving at such a high level that he seems unstoppable. So if you are planning to race yourself in Canada this weekend, you can use this setup. As mentioned before, it is a race setup, not a time trial setup. You can still use it for time trials and you'll probably be fast, but this setup is specifically designed to be consistently fast over the entire race distance. That's where its strength lies. The car remains competitive throughout the race and performs exceptionally well on the tires. This means that the tire wear is kept under control, allowing you to continuously drive fast laps. Now let's take a look at my setup. For the wings I chose 29 for the front and 26 for the rear. This provides great balance between corner rotation and top speed. Since there are many corners in Canada where you want the car to turn in quickly, I opted for a slightly more front wing than rear wing. The differential is set at 55 for both on throttle and off throttle. This setting ensures good balance throughout the corners, keeping the car under control from entry to exit. In terms of camber and toe, I selected -2.8 and -1 for camber and 0.05 and 0.25 for toe. Canada is known for being tough on the tires, and this setup helps to minimize the tire wear as much as possible. The suspension settings are 27, 6, 5, 1 and 34 and 37. In my opinion, suspension plays a crucial part in any setup, especially when it comes to achieving optimal rotation. I believe this setup has worked very well in that regard. Also, the ride height is set at an ideal level, allowing you to fully utilize the curbs in the last chicane. The brakes are set at 100% and 56%. If you experience rear tire lockup during braking, you can increase 56 to 57. However, for me, this was ideal. Lastly, the recommended tire pressures are 22.3 at the front and 20.1 for the rear tires. If you find it challenging to generate enough tire temperature, you can increase the pressure by 1 or 2 clicks. And that concludes my F1 Canada setup. Good luck if you're also racing in Canada this weekend. I'll be sharing new F1 setups as well as tips and tricks to improve your speed in this game on a daily basis. To ensure you don't miss out on these setups and tips, make sure to subscribe to my channel and enable notifications. Thank you for watching and enjoy using this F1 Canada setup.